Okay, thank you, Stasia. So we are following some breaking news for you this morning. A violent night in Fort Worth. As Matt mentioned earlier, police say several people were shot while celebrating the 4th of July.
Yeah, we're told the crime scene spans over 4 blocks. One shooting happened on Castleman Street, the other on Eastland. This is in the Stop 6 neighborhood in southeast Fort Worth.
So Chris Sadeghi live right now at Fort Worth Police Department. Chris, we know at least one person was killed.
Yes, Karen, police describe a very chaotic scene as they arrived to this 4th of July celebration that ended with gunshots. There was a neighborhood celebration down on the southeast side of Fort Worth, and the initial 911 call to police came that a man was having a heart attack. But when officers got to the scene at Castleman and Eastland, there was a lot going on. Drivers were doing donuts in the intersection with their cars. Fireworks were going off and multiple people were shot. We don't know the exact number, but we know at least one person died. We also spoke to a witness who said it was hard to distinguish the gunfire from the fireworks.
All I heard is and I see people running. I'm not knowing what's going on. I'm thinking it's a new firework.
And police are not sure why the gun was pulled or what led up, but we are hoping to get that update from them this morning, as well as an update on the victims and possible arrest. We do know that police patrols had already been stepped up in this neighborhood in anticipation of the celebration. Matt, back to you.
All right, Chris Sadeghi, thank you so much. Fort Worth police are also investigating another shooting from overnight, this one at a car wash. It happened on West Cleburne Road. That's in southwest Fort Worth. Right now, we are still working to learn what led up to that shooting, but we do know at least one person was killed there. We'll bring you the latest as we learn more throughout the morning.
Our top story this morning, we have had a deadly shooting. 8 people were shot, and we know that one of them has died. Many of these were young people.
Now, this comes exactly a year after another mass shooting happening in King Sessing, killing 5 people. Now, Hank is live at the scene in Southwest Philly, where, Hank, you're seeing quite a bit of damage that remains from that shooting.
Yes, I mean, there was apparently a ton of lead flying through the air down here last night at Kinsessing and 60th. I'm just trying to figure out, maybe doing my own bit of police work. There seem to be 2 bullet holes in this particular Mazda right here. It could be 2 hits. It could be one going in one window, going out the other. Police are still trying to match it together, guys. But listen, 8 people are hit. One of them killed. 3 of them are juveniles down here, transported to several different area hospitals. It happened about 11:30 last night. Police say, again, here near the intersection of 60th and Kinsessing as it goes down towards Salford Street. And Philly Police Inspector Kapana Masakoi says that officers realized it was happening when one patrol officer found a person shot in the middle of Kinsessing.
Officer was on patrol in this area and saw a shooting victim lying on the highway. The officer immediately came over police radio and stated that she had seen shooting, and other officers responded and found the other victims on the highway and transported them to the hospital. The total victims that arrived at the hospital were counted at 8 at this point. 5 adults and 3 juveniles, and the juveniles' age ranges are between 16 to 17. It is very alarming, and especially when we had officers in the area to try to prevent anything like this from happening, and it's still happening. So we take it very seriously and find it very, very alarming.
Sure, and again, it's 1 person dead from 8 shot, 5 adults, 3 juveniles. Police have not released any identities. Police say there is no known motive. There haven't been any arrests and no weapons recovered. Take a quick look at this live shot that we have from CHOP. All the victims were transported, not just to CHOP, but the 3 other area hospitals, Hub Cedar and Presbyterian were the other 2. But they went to CHOP and these other hospitals via emergency vehicle, privately owned vehicle. Steve Keeley reports even one went by ride share, if you can buy that. But there's several crowds had gathered out here at the corner. Police say that when they got here, they had to be broken up at a certain point. I did speak with one woman who you'll hear from in about a half hour. Just now spoke with her, who said she just didn't understand how firecrackers, fireworks could explode into gunfire. Maybe that's some clue as to how it all got started. Police did tell us that there were cookouts happening out here, as there were everywhere else in the city on the 4th of July. They said they didn't distinctly know of any parties going on. So a lot of police work to be done here, guys, and police will be out here gathering video throughout the day. Count on that, guys.
All right, Hank, such a sad situation. Thank you for that update.
We begin this hour with breaking news. 2 people are dead, at least 3 others injured during a stabbing spree in Huntington Beach. KTLA's Carlos Herrero live at the scene with the very latest. Carlos?
Hi, Lou. Good morning. Now, we want to be very clear with this. We have been having conflicting reports, information from law enforcement agencies in the area. We've now learned that 2 people died at the scene. 3 others were injured, all of them transported to a nearby hospital, of course, as the 4th of July festivities in this Huntington Beach neighborhood took a tragic turn. You can see behind me here, this area is still yellow taped as investigators remain on scene. Several hours later, they're assisted by the Orange County Sheriff's Department as they try to figure out what exactly led to this stabbing spree. Get you over to some video here from last night as first responders arrived at the scene. Now, according to the latest information provided by the police department shared via X, the incident happened shortly after 11 last night in the area of 17th Street near Pecan Avenue. When officers arrived, they found 5 victims who were suffering from significant injuries during a stabbing incident. Details are still being confirmed, but police say 2 of the victims died at the scene. 3 others were rushed to a hospital where they're now recovering and expected to be okay. We're hearing one of them at least had surgery just a short time ago. Police are not releasing many details about the investigation, but witnesses this morning say the violence erupted unexpectedly as a group of people were gathered near the sidewalk watching 4th of July fireworks. They say a man holding a knife got out of a car and started stabbing the victims. This morning, neighbors are shocked and heartbroken to learn this happened.
To come here to think you're going to have a good time and end up getting hurt like that is awful. I was just surprised. I told them most likely it's probably outside people because I've lived for a long time. There's always a party city during 4th of July weekend, but never kind of get with trouble like this. And when there is, it's from people who come to the area to create it.
Investigators have not released any information about a suspect, no word on any arrests either, but they have confirmed there is no further threat to public safety. Now, the deadly stabbing comes as many in the neighborhood and the city were celebrating 4th of July, many of them with their friends and families. Authorities have not released any information on the victims either. We are waiting for the medical examiner to arrive and remove the bodies from the scene, and that could take several hours. Now, as we come back at our live, we are hoping to hear from investigators at some point today for more details on what exactly happened here. We're starting to hear from a lot of concerned neighbors in the area who want to know what happened. We'll send it back to you.
Violence like this, the message it sends is that we're not a safe place to be.
How both city and county police are now handling a wave of deadly mass shootings. Tonight, police from multiple agencies are working to get leads in 2 separate mass shootings on the 4th of July. Thank you for joining us at 10. I'm Brent Solomon. 7 people were shot, including a 13-year-old. Gunfire ringing out following fireworks. Our Annie Crawl kicks off our coverage tonight live downtown with what police and city leaders are saying tonight. Annie.
Brent, an overnight mass shooting right here near City Garden involved hundreds of teens, and it happened just hours after the city's 4th of July fireworks. Unfortunately, 7 people were hospitalized, but details from the city's police department weren't released until 12 hours later. Fireworks and gunfire, a chilling combination. You can hear the crackle of fireworks only blocks away from a 4th of July shooting just before midnight at 8th and Pine in downtown St. Louis. Police say 7 people were shot. Compton Heights resident Michael Sontag is grateful he left downtown before the arch was ablaze in patriotic colors.
We came in the afternoon, but purposely chose not to come at night because we were afraid of something like that.
Instead of a festive 4th of July parade, by nightfall, it was a parade of police cars down Market Street to answer calls. 3 18-year-olds and a 20-year-old were privately driven to a hospital. Paramedics took a 13-year-old to another hospital. A passing driver took 2 23-year-olds. And as cars race by and fireworks go off in the middle of the road, you could smell the tangy sulfur in the air. A police source telling us there were more than 300 teens downtown in the hours after the fireworks show. In the daylight, we spoke with St. Louis Alderwoman Kara Spencer, now mayoral candidate, about the open carry ban passed last summer.
I was hearing reports from neighbors, residents, business owners that they saw a real significant decrease in that.
Yet, this is what's left the next morning. Windows being knocked out and boarded up at the Peabody Coal Building, while nearby Burger 809 hasn't even opened yet, and it had its windows shot.
Our St. Louis Development Corporation, Greater St. Louis, and other partners to really come to the table and make sure we're supporting our city garden and those businesses around there that the public, that are fantastic reasons for people to come downtown.
Gun Sense for the Common Good is a group working to reduce St. Louis gun violence through faith-based programming. Sontag, one of its leaders, is frustrated by the festivities being overshadowed by the violence.
It feels like we are always talking about kids in these shootings. This week was a particularly bad week. There were a lot of children shot this week.
St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones calling the downtown shooting a tragedy. And we first learned about the shooting through viewer emails and sources who were near the shooting. Police did not release an incident summary until noon today, saying at first they weren't sure about the shooting scale. So far, no information about possible suspects. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
And we can still hear those fireworks behind you. Annie, thank you.
And we begin tonight at 10 with breaking news. One person is dead and 3 others are in the hospital tonight after a fight led to a shooting on Indy's northwest side. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jenny Dreisler.
And I'm Nick McGill. Right now, very little information is being released, but we do have Fox 59 Scarlett O'Hara live there on the scene. Scarlett, what can you tell us so far? We know there's still a very active scene there behind you.
Yeah, a very unfortunate situation that all unfolded within about the past hour. IMPD says officers were first called to this neighborhood around 9:20 for a dispute between neighbors. And at some point, they say that dispute turned violent, ending with 4 people getting shot, 1 fatally. Now I'll take a step out of frame here so you can take a look at the scene. Like you said, very active scene here. Now this heavy police presence happened as this is all going on while fireworks continue from all sides tonight. IMPD says what makes this case even more disturbing is numerous children were here and likely witnessed the gunfire that ultimately took 1 woman's life and injured 3 men.
This isn't the city that we live in. This is not what people should be doing. Walk away. Do not resort to gun violence. Everybody's trying to have a nice July 4th holiday, and unfortunately, this is now what we have.
IMPD says the 3 men are all in stable condition at the hospital, one of whom at this time is believed to be a suspect in the shooting. IMPD says although there is a suspect in custody at the hospital, they're still asking anyone with information to reach out to homicide detectives or Crime Stoppers if you'd like to remain anonymous. On the near northwest side, Scarlett O'Hara, Fox 59 News.
All right, Scarlett, thank you.